Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had an amazing week so far. Today, we're going to be giving a market update, and as you can see, I've got Satoshi the Cat co-hosting this one with me. We did say we were going to cover the general kind of market sentiment daily. We are, of course, going to be diving into Bitcoin. There's quite a little bit, the market's a little bit jittery right now. This is really due to what's going on with global events. We're going to talk about that. We're going to look at some of our indicators such as the S&P, the FTSE 100, crude oil, and of course the dollar index. We're also going to be going into a number of articles such as Vladimir Putin says crypto bear high risk, and he's talking about the fact that he believes crypto isn't backed by anything and that it's extremely volatile and has a real risk element to it. This kind of, we did cover when India released a crypto bill where essentially they were talking about banning private cryptocurrencies in light of their CBDC. CBDCs, or certainly cryptos, are a real threat to CBDCs because the whole purpose of Bitcoin's creation was really to undermine fiat currency systems and highlight the corruption within them. So we are going to jump into Bitcoin. There's some good news with Bitcoin. I actually think we've had this kind of ascending triangle at play for a while now, and essentially you did bounce off our ascending support, and you are setting up very similar structure to this move over here. It's very, very similar. You're bouncing off similar levels. You're finding support at similar areas. So we could see Bitcoin sort of continue to go up despite global fears. Now, the news today, Moderna, who is one of the big pharmacy companies, who of course have produced a product in light of everything that's happened to kind of combat it, they came out today saying that their product may not be as effective against the new variant as they had thought. In fact, it may not be effective at all. And that saw, certainly in the traditional financial realm, this is the S&P, we saw a sell-off today. We saw the FTSE 100, which is something I pay attention to living in the UK, also sell off quite significantly, but we're seeing a buyback. We saw crude oil. Crude oil is getting absolutely hit hard at the moment. This could have something to do with the fact the US, I think, opened their reserves. And the dollar, we're not actually seeing major strength. We're seeing indecision in the dollar. There's indecision across markets, full stop. And this is really what I want to talk to you about in this video. I still believe that the bull run is going to continue. I think we're going to see continuation within the bull run. And I think we're actually going to have a longer bull run than previously. And there's lots of credence and credibility to the lengthening cycle theory. But there's still an element of the Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory, which of course is determined by the halvening. So I think you're still going to see those deflationary events for Bitcoin actually have a positive effect on the price, but I think this cycle is going to continue into next year. But from here on out, certainly we will get to a point where I think we see similar movement to what we saw over here. But from here onwards, certainly for the next kind of while where markets are uncertain due to this whole new variant, we're going to see somewhat shaky and potentially slow moving markets. What I'm really looking for is a continuation within Bitcoin, but I don't think it's going to be any kind of a parabola. I think this is going to allow altcoins to run, which is a good thing for the markets as a whole. So I think you're going to see a little bit of Bitcoin strength, but it's not going to be anything spectacular. And this is just, markets of, if you look at this wick, certainly on the daily, this isn't just a Bitcoin wick. The dollar has a similar wick. These are all indecision wicks. And this is due to the, are we going to have some more catastrophic events take place due to what's currently going around, or are we not? So that's something important. You guys, as investors now, need to be paying attention to the global financial landscape, because this is going to help you kind of understand what's going on and really kind of mitigate some of that worry, certainly that many of you new people to the investment space may be feeling. This was an interesting one. Vladimir Putin, in regards to crypto. This is a quote from him. "It's not backed by anything, and the volatility is colossal. So the risks are very high. We also believe that we need to listen to those who talk about those high risks." So he's not necessarily 100% bearish, or when I say bearish, he's not 100% against it, but all traditional world leaders are going to somewhat see Bitcoin as a threat, because if they don't control the money supply that their citizens use and the currency that's traded among their citizens, they lose a huge chunk of their influence and power. And one thing that we've seen in the wake of central banks is a huge inflationary tax on the masses. We try and speak about this regularly on the channel because I do think inflation has pretty devastating effects, certainly on the poorest among us, the people that live month to month, because if we inflate the monetary supply significantly, what that essentially means is that people get poorer, their money goes, or their money doesn't go as far, I should say. This is the India misinterpreted private crypto ban, says crypto bill creator. So it's looking that this isn't as bad as it seems, but still, you know, that there is, in my opinion, certainly coming down the road, going to be a targeted effort or a coordinated effort by governments to kind of clamp down on crypto or certainly restrain it in some way, shape, or form. So this is something to, of course, pay attention to. CBDCs is a tool to combat Bitcoin, it says Bank of Indonesia exec. Of course, we already know this. So this was just a really short and sweet update. We're going to give these updates daily in relation to the crypto space, you know, the kind of macroeconomic landscape, and really relate it all together and kind of give you guys an idea of where we're at. I do think we're going to see continuation of Bitcoin due to how similar these two structures are, and where we're kind of falling within this ascending triangle. I still think the bull run's in play, guys. I just think that this is going to be a different bull run due to everything that's happened than the previous. So that's really all I have for you in this video, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to love and leave you on that note. If you have enjoyed the content, a like is always appreciated. So is a comment, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next YouTube video. Remember, you really need to pay attention to those traditional financial instruments, and hopefully I'll catch you all in the next YouTube video. Thank you very much for watching, guys.